Imagine Apple waking up one morning and deciding, yeah, let's completely break the rulebook we've followed for over a decade. Because if the latest industry leaks are right, Apple is about to pull off one of the biggest strategy shifts in iPhone history. Not only could the iPhone lineup change, the pricing, release timing, and even how powerful your standard iPhone actually is, may never be the same again. And the wild part? It all starts with Apple skipping an iPhone. For years, Apple has had this super predictable tradition. Every September, like clockwork, we get a full lineup. Standard models, pro models, big, shiny event, and boom, everything launches together. But that familiar routine may actually be over. Reports are now saying there will be no regular iPhone 18 in 2026 at all. Instead, Apple wants the iPhone 17 to sit as the main non-pro iPhone for way longer than usual. We're talking more than a year and a half as the latest regular iPhone, which is crazy considering how fast the smartphone market normally moves. The plan now seems to be a split calendar. Apple keeps the fall event purely premium, so that's when we'd still see the iPhone 18 Pro, 18 Pro Max, and possibly the first foldable iPhone. All the super high-end, headline-grabbing stuff stays in the spotlight. But the standard iPhone 18? That gets kicked out of the September club completely and pushed all the way to spring 2027, likely launching alongside a more affordable iPhone 18e, creating this new, value-focused spring iPhone lineup. And honestly, when you think about it, it does make sense. Apple's iPhone lineup is getting ridiculously crowded. With the rumored iPhone 17e and iPhone Air, older models staying on sale, and a foldable joining the party, Apple could easily have 8 or more iPhones available at the same time. Launch everything together and they basically end up competing with themselves. Sales cycles get shorter, marketing becomes noise, and new phones don't get enough spotlight. So Apple's solution is simple. Spread them across the year. More attention, cleaner positioning, longer life cycles, and way less chaos in the factories. Financially smarter and way better for hype. But this is Apple. When they change one thing, another massive change usually follows, and that's where things start getting a lot more controversial. Because while the standard iPhone 18 may be delayed, the iPhone 18 Pro could become the most expensive iPhone Apple has ever made. And the main reason is something you'll never physically see, but it's going to change everything inside the phone. Apple's first ever 2nm chip, the A20 Pro. TSMC's new 2nm process is insanely advanced. Faster performance, better efficiency, stronger AI power, improved gaming, better camera processing, all the good stuff. But here's the painful part. It's unbelievably expensive to produce. Each wafer reportedly costs around $30,000, way more than current 3nm production. And because of that, the cost of the chip itself could jump to levels Apple has literally never dealt with before. And when Apple's costs shoot up like that, history shows they rarely eat those losses themselves. So pair this insanely expensive chip with rumors of Apple finally ditching the dynamic island and moving to a cleaner punch-hole camera with Face ID hidden under the display, then add a new refined design finish, plus camera upgrades like a variable aperture lens, and suddenly you can see why analysts are saying a price increase feels almost inevitable. This isn't a small refresh year, this is Apple flexing. But then comes the part many people are not going to like. The standard iPhone 18 and especially the cheaper iPhone 18e may not get this full power version of the A20 chip. With early 2nm production reportedly having lower yields, not every chip comes out perfect. And instead of throwing those imperfect chips away, companies usually repurpose them, meaning there's a real possibility that different iPhone 18 units may quietly have slightly different performance levels, even if Apple markets them as the same. Same phone, same box, same name, but long-term performance potentially not the same story. So if you zoom out, Apple isn't just delaying a phone or raising a price or adding power. They're restructuring how iPhones launch, who each iPhone is really meant for, and how aggressively they push the Pro identity. The Pro models feel like they're becoming truly professional devices, almost like laptops in your pocket, while the regular models shift toward being more long-term mainstream phones with slower refresh cycles. The big question now is simple. Is this smart strategy? Or is Apple pushing a little too far? Will people pay more for a genuinely cutting-edge Pro iPhone? And are you okay with waiting longer for standard models? I want to know what you think. Would you upgrade if prices jump? Or are you happy sticking with what you already have for another year?